Foley from Foley Rich Life here with the video Sunday Scaries edition. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for a really long time, and I've heard from a lot of you guys asking for more video, more audio content, and that's what I love doing more than even writing. So this is kind of going to be the format of Sunday Scaries going forward. Is a quick 10-ish minute video on a particular subject or a question that I keep getting from readers, or just something I'm super interested in. So this is something that I'm trying. I would love to get any feedback on the video, or if you guys would rather have it as kind of the newsletter format. Really the purpose of this is just to add as much value as possible to you guys, and so I'm trying different formats and seeing what works best. But for me, I really like the video because it just gives me a way to really give my personality to you guys and really engage more in a personal setting than an email. Sometimes it can just seem removed, but when watching video and being able to interact, I just feel like that's the next level. And for me, that's what matters, just adding as much value to you guys as possible. And so that's what this is about, and I hope you guys love it. So episode 1 here, we're going to be talking about fear. And fear is something that I'm intimately, particularly, specifically involved with, right? And so a lot of people, I think I've gotten 10 emails just this week, particularly about fear, whether it's fear of quitting their job and starting their business, or whether it's fear of moving in with their significant other, or whether it's fear of moving to a new city without a job. All of things that I've dealt with. Specifically, as you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I recently moved from New York City to Chicago, and this was a personal decision. It had nothing to do with a job or anything. My fiance and I were just like, let's go all in, right? Let's go all in on what matters most. But there was a ton of fear there, guys. It wasn't just something that we were just like, oh yeah, let's do this, and we did it. It was a ton of fear, and it took a lot of kind of things behind the scenes for us to think about, to talk about, to journal about, and things like that. And that's what this video is about, is how to help you guys reshape fear and rechannel it so that it can work for you instead of work against you. Another thing that people ask me is like, Ben, how did you get over your fear or overcome your fear of working, the 9-to-5, the corporate secure job, to start your blog and start talking about something you really are passionate about? And guys, I'm not over anything. I feel fear every single day, and it's just something that you guys got to realize is fear is never going to go away. And if you keep waiting to do the thing that you want to do, or go after something that matters to you until fear is done, you're going to be waiting forever. And one of my favorite books of all time is Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. I mean, there's a lot of philosophical topics in there, but one, it talks about how everybody goes to the waiting place, right? Waiting for a bus to come, waiting for a train to go. And that's where I feel like a lot of people are in their life, and that's because of fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of getting where they want and not being able to handle it, or being finally caught out, right? And that's what I've kind of felt over the last couple of weeks, where I'm starting to get a little bit bigger of an audience. You guys are amazing and really supportive, but it's scary because it's like I want to offer as much value as possible to you guys, and everything that I create or write, I just internally doubt myself of whether it's good or whether it's valuable. But I just keep working with that fear and don't let it stop me. And that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about. I actually just recently was talking to a friend, and he's from the western side of the United States, and he was telling me kind of an anecdote about fear that I've loved, and so I'm going to share it with you guys. He was talking about how buffalo, instead of running away from a storm, they run directly through the middle of it. And I thought that was really interesting, and it's a really good example of how to get through fear on a day-to-day basis. So to get through fear, you got to go straight through the heart of the thing. And yeah, it might be scarier, but in reality, you're going to get through it quicker and faster and more effectively if you go straight through the middle versus running away from it. The storm's going to come, guys, no matter what. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about overcoming and never having fear again, because I don't think you can, and I don't think you should. Fear has probably allowed you to sit where you are. You know, like fear kept our ancestors alive. Like fear has probably kept you alive, being like, don't go down that alley, you know? So fear is not something that we want to get rid of. We just don't want it to control our lives. And like Elizabeth Gilbert said, she allows fear to sit in the back seat, but she doesn't let it touch the steering wheel or the radio, which I really like that. It's, you know, fear is along for the ride, guys, but it can't control where you're going. And so that's something that I've really learned how to do, is lean into fear. That's what I want to talk to you guys about. Lean into your fear. A practice that I've developed over the last, couple of months is doing one thing every day that I'm scared of, right? And so that's really cliche. I think it was Marianne Williamson or Eleanor Roosevelt who said you should do something every day that you're afraid of. And for a while there, I was like, I don't know, like I don't want to start a business every day. But then I started looking at on a micro level, guys, and that's where it's really, really hit home for me. It's like, what are the small things that I'm scared of? Because we're all scared of millions of different things. And I'm not saying tackle your number one biggest fear right now, like go now and do it. What I'm saying is, what are you kind of scared of a little bit? Like, are you scared to like post that Instagram of that artwork that you really like, because then people might not be like, why does he like art, Or like, it's stupid stuff usually that we're scared of, because we're scared of usually people's reaction or external factors. But do it. And that's what I've been doing. So every single morning I will write, when I'm doing my journaling, I will write one thing that I'll do today that if I had no fear, I would do. And it's not these big things. So today was this video. I said, if I had no fear, I would create this video with no script, talking about fear, trying to help you guys. Because it's something that I've really wanted to do, but a video just is that next level of vulnerability, that next level of, this is my apartment, this is the next level. Anybody can write an email from Malaysia and you have no idea who they are. And so that was mine today, but it's varied so much. Like maybe it was, I think yesterday it was that I would, go for a 7-mile run or whatever, or have people over. It doesn't need to be these massive, big fear settings. It just needs to be a daily habit, because scientists have proven that the more you practice tackling fear, the more confidence you get, which then turns into competence. And it's called the competence-confidence cycle of getting through fear, right? You notice I didn't say overcoming fear. It's feeling it for what it is, and then learning how to deal with it better. And the way that I do that is I want to be proactive, guys. I don't want to just wait for fear to happen and then I try to act on it. I want to do things every single day that makes me more mentally resilient. And that's what this whole thing that I'm doing here is, trying to work with you guys to help you build mental resiliency so that you can have an amazing life, so that you can get through anxiety, depression, or on the other end, so you can have more creativity, more focus, more success in your business and life. And I think one of the biggest, kind of gatekeepers to that life is fear. And just being able to feel it and lean into it, being the buffalo per se in this situation and going straight through the middle of fear is only way to get what you want. I think it was Rumi who said that everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. And I'm not sure if I completely agree with that whole statement, but there's a lot of truth in it. And once your mind has decided to do something, once you have decided, I'm quitting this job, I'm going to start this thing, I'm going to make it happen, and you have that belief in yourself, the world, just kind of funny things start happening in the world, and they start working a little bit. I'm not saying you can do whatever you want and everything will work out. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when you have belief, funny things start happening. And I'm not talking about the esoteric belief. I'm talking about every morning you work your butt off and you believe that while you're doing that is getting you to where you want to be. And so this is my challenge to you guys. What is one thing that you could do today that would help you build confidence and lower your fear, right? So write in the comments, do it. Reply back to the email. Do whatever you can. Hit me up on @BenjaminFoley on Instagram and let me know. Like, I want to hear from you guys. What are you doing to overcome your fear today? And what is your biggest fear? What's holding you back? I think once you start to realize what the fear actually is, then you can work with it, then you can get through it. And that's the process, right? Fear is never going to go away. It's an emotion, just like anxiety. Anxiety is never going to go away. The debilitating part will, but you're always going to feel anxiety and stress about certain situations. It's how you tell yourself why that feeling came about. That's the difference, right? Instead of feeling anxiety and being like, oh, that's because, I'm an anxious person and I'm depressed. And then you get in this cycle that just it goes and goes and goes. And then you just fall off the rails. Instead, being like, oh, that's anxiety. That's interesting. I feel that right here in my heart. I feel that in my jaw. I feel that in my chest. And just sitting with it. That's something that we really have a hard time doing, is just sitting with those feelings, those uncomfortable feelings, because we just want to, we live in the culture where we just want the solution like that. But in reality, you can't. Like those are just freaking Band-Aids that are not going to make long-lasting change. And so this video is just to get you guys to start looking at the face of fear. It's a similar anecdote, right? Fear is powered by hiding from it. Just like when you were a kid and you're really scared of the attic, right? And then one day, when your parents were gone, you mustered up a little courage and you went up there and you realized it was just a bunch of your parents' old stuff. There was no ghost, there was no boogeyman, there was nothing up there. But if you would have never looked straight at fear and got curious about it and just started looking a little bit more in depth into it and going into the door, opening the door into fear, you would have always been scared. You would have always been hiding from it. So what are you hiding from, guys? What are you not opening the door to? That's what I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. I love you. Thank you so much for the support, everything that you guys do. As always, email me, ben@fullyrichlife.com, with any questions, any concerns, any suggestions that you guys might have for future videos. This is the format that I'm loving, getting a lot of really good feedback from people about this. So I'm really excited to start doing these on a week-to-week basis. So please let me know anything that you guys would like me to talk about, touch on. And I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. And like I said, please, in the comments or on Instagram, let me know what you're going to do today to start overcoming and working through your fear. Bye, guys.